And we're live. Guys and girls. Yeah, what a interesting time we live in. I am your host, Mike Killy. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Killy, which is like right down there. My dad, who's usually here, is you'll notice is not. I've got the chat showing up over there. My dad is not on the COVID reserve list like all of our wide receivers. He is. He has to go and handle a somewhat of a. They're looking at it. They're looking at moving to Orlando, so they wanted to go check out the house that they're looking to move into, and they're going to run out of time, so they had to go do it during this time. My dad's going to be joining for probably the back half of the show. I tried to call into the bullpen to get Ristano in last minute, and Ristano is unresponsive, so I don't know if he's all right. Usually we're going back and forth this morning, so I haven't been able to get in touch with Ristano, so it's just me for the time being. But it'll be me and the chat. That's why I've got chat there right there with me. So we're going to be doing the multi-chat from Twitch and YouTube. But guys, we have a lot to talk about today. A lot of things that have happened in the last 12 to 15 hours. The Dolphins Raiders game, which came down to a disastrous final play right there. Then all the COVID news were coming out about the Browns. It was just one thing after another. There's a lot of confusion going on. There's a lot going on today. So I have been flustered. I've been walking around the house all day, fidgeting, getting ready for the pregame show, and it's nice. Did you go any new Brown stuff? Yeah, I got some Brown stuff for Christmas. I'm wearing some new Browns pants. I got the Browns like the hat that's like the training camp hat that has like the thing around the side. So I got that. A bunch of cool Brown stuff. Yes. So Kyle says we are effed. Still watching the Raiders game. Can't believe the Jets actually won a game. This is Nanny. Big shout outs. Nanny Claus, Ryan Sullivan, Gary Washington's in the house. Mario G, Livewire Red B, Tina Mendelera, Ive Gouda. Who else we got? And Jason Kimball's in the house. What's going on, Jason? Odin Max, not to be confused with Max Nikolenko. X-Men Avenger 23. Kyle is here. Bear Kincaid is in the house, guys. Just so you that the pregame music that I play is the Bear Kincaid song "Here We Go Brownies." So I'll play that at the end as well. Bear has a new video coming out pretty soon. The music video for "Here We Go Brownies." Also another Brown song called "Feeling Dangerous." Everybody, if you're interested in really, really good country music for an up-and-coming country music star, check out Bear Kincaid on Apple Music and Spotify and YouTube. I've been working on this "Here We Go Brownies" video for about 3 days. I think I've got 9 hours of work into this video so far, and it's we got a couple little edits, little tweaks that we got to go left, but it is killer. And I hope this thing really blows up and the Browns pick it up and all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really good song. And Feeling Dangerous is a really good song too. So, Bear, I've been listening to your stuff on Spotify, just basically going all the way down. Mike, post-game show, wear the new hat. I will. Jason, why didn't the Raiders run it in to force Miami to score a touchdown? It's just crazy. This is what I was thinking about that Raiders game, guys. At the end, I was going, yeah, just kneel it. Bring it all the way down, kick the field goal, but I didn't realize how much time was left. You can really only do that and secure the win if you can bring it down to 1 or 2 seconds. If there's 19 seconds left on the clock, they have a chance for a play. So when they kick it off and it goes into the end zone, starts on the 25-yard line, and I'm sitting there going, and my wife is in there and my dad is in there, and they're like, well, okay, well, this game's over. There's probably not going to be a good chance. I go, hold on a second. All they need is a penalty. Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to heave it downfield and hope that there's a penalty, because you can't end the game on a defensive penalty, and it'll set them up wherever they go. And if at the very least they'll have another Hail Mary if they don't have the range. It's just stupid, right? And then their kicker missing an extra point is just gosh darn ridiculous. So it was very frustrating. I went to bed late last night. I had trouble sleeping because I was like, this is going to be our in. All we'll have to do is beat the Jets, and we're in the playoffs. And now we got to hope that the Steelers win or the Giants win. The Giants aren't beating the Ravens. There's absolutely no chance that's happening. The Colts and the Steelers is going to be interesting. The Steelers are coming off, 3-game losing streak? So the Steelers are in the dumps right now. They don't even look like a playoff team, and the Colts are playing for their life, right? So this is the game in Pittsburgh? Steelers. The game's in Pittsburgh, so that's good. 10-4 Colts. Colts are coming off of a victory against the Titans, a victory against the Raiders, a victory. I said Titans. Texans they beat. Then they beat previously to that the Raiders. Previously to that the Texans, and then they lost pretty bad to the Titans. So they're 3-1 in their last 4 games. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And it takes a game against the Steelers to be able to do it, because there's a really good chance they're not going to beat. They're not going to lose to the Jaguars next week. So this is our one game. I think our one game. So it's pretty rough. Nanny, don't jinx it. Nick Chubb's going to go off. Instead of sliding down at 1, you could just score a touchdown, make him score a touchdown to win. Yeah, I mean, there's the school of thought on that. I was pro kicking the field goal, to be honest. I was. And I was frustrated, but you leave them with a minute and a half, or a minute and 6 seconds if they would have gone in and scored the touchdown. That's a decent amount of time to have some crazy stuff happen in the NFL. But thinking back on it, John Gruden was going for the sure thing, but there's no sure things. With 19 seconds, that never happens. And for that defensive back, number 20, whoever that guy was, to play the flat instead of going back and trailing, the one thing that can beat you is a deep ball. The one thing. And you're going to rely on a safety to run halfway across the field to get to you. That's insane. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick's throwing with his eyes closed, with his head turned halfway around to his neck, heaves it and hits him perfectly in the numbers. And he's wide open, and he floated it out there. And if that defensive back just sits there and does his goddamn job, he knocks it down, or at the worst he knocks it down. At best he intercepts it, game over. But man, I mean, everybody's questioning John Gruden, but it really comes down to that number 20 guy. And then on top of it, even if he catches the ball where he does, if that stupid defensive lineman doesn't have a face mask on Ryan Fitzpatrick, they don't get the extra 15 yards, and they might not have gotten all the way down the field to kick that field goal, because I think he stayed in bounds when he caught it. So it was like, what? And I said to my dad on that play, all they have to do is Ryan Fitzpatrick has to heave it downfield, and there has to be a pass interference penalty, and they get it there, and they kick a field goal, because he can't end the game on a defensive penalty. So that was what I was thinking was what they were going to do. And it turns out they got even better news, because they got the face mask, personal foul on top of completing a giant pass, which is just ridiculous. And screw you, Raiders, and screw all of your Raider fans. Everybody out there, you guys suck, and I'm glad you didn't make the playoffs. And John Gruden, for your $10 million a year for 10 years, you're an idiot. So screw you, John Gruden. I'm glad you didn't make the playoffs. I'm very happy about that. But yeah, so we just got to take care of business, guys. We're Browns fans. This is Cleveland Browns. Nobody's going to do any easy work. We're not going to be 7-9 and make the playoffs. All right? We're not going to be the NFC East. Okay? We're the Cleveland Browns. It's going to take 11, possibly 12 games, 12 wins to make a wild card. That's the scenario. 12-4, guys. And if you go 12-4, do you have a chance to win the Super Bowl at 12-4? I think you do. I legitimately think you've got as good a chance to win the Super Bowl as any other team if you go 12-4. If you go 10-6 and limp in, you got to pray something happens to everybody else. We swept the NFC least and the AFC South. I agree. I agree. But it doesn't matter because we got to take care of. We don't play in the NFC East or the AFC South. We play in the AFC North, and we got to beat some teams. We couldn't take care of the Ravens either time. We lost on a 55-yard field goal because we scored too quickly. Gave up 47 points, 45 before, that last play. You give up 45 points, you're not going to win very many games. It's going to come down to, stupid BS plays like 55-yard field goal with no time left. Or very little time left. So we got trounced by the Ravens. We got trounced by the Steelers. We lost a very close game to the Raiders that we easily could have won. We should have won, but we couldn't catch the ball in the rain, and we couldn't hold on to the ball. So that's what it is, guys. Those are our four losses, and then we lost again to the Ravens. So we have 4 losses. We have to beat the other worst team in the league. We beat the first worst team in the league, the Jaguars. So we took care of business there and very close on 27-25. Now we got to beat the other one. Yes, we do not have our wide receivers. We don't have them. Okay? So we don't have Jarvis. We don't have Peoples-Jones. We don't got Higgins. We don't even have Kaderil Hodge. Right? But it was interesting. I was watching the NFL primetime pregame show on ESPN, which I never watch. It just happened to be on, and I needed something to occupy my mind. And what's his face? Rex Ryan sat there and said, if any team is kind of built for this disaster to happen, it's kind of the Browns, right? It's the Browns. Oh, hold on. Restano is texting. Let's see what he's got to say. Restano says, damn, I literally just opened my eyes. No problem. Okay, so he's probably not going to be joining, unfortunately, guys. Cleveland Cam was gonna hop in here and chat as well, so he might have a chance. Browns fan 77 says Colts got to win. I agree. Colts got to win. Colts got to win because Giants aren't beating the Ravens. I'm sorry. The Giants are not good enough to beat the Ravens. They are not. But the Colts are. The Colts are good enough to beat the Steelers. But there's 2 different scenarios, guys. There's 2 different scenarios. If the Colts beat the Steelers, then we can win the AFC North by beating the Jets and the Steelers. So that's one scenario. And we host a postseason game, which gives us a good shot at actually winning one. The other scenario is, are we happy with the Colts losing and we just get in by beating the Jets or the Steelers? I'm okay either way. My goal this year was just to get into the playoffs. I want to have a playoff game. I want to have a playoff pregame show, playoff postgame show. I want to see us take that step forward for the first time since 2002. And it is such a massive joke that the NFC has to suck so bad this year that you basically have to have a nearly perfect season and make the playoffs in the AFC, which is just ridiculous. It's like there's nothing ever easy for us, guys. Our wins come down to onside kicks or last second plays. Everything just happens to be. We have to go the hard way. We're 10-4. Look, we're 10-4, and there's scenarios, easy scenarios. If we win the game tonight, they said there's a 97% chance that we make the playoffs. There's still a 3% chance that we don't. And for anybody who's ever rolled dice, 3% hits. Okay, you got a 3 in 100 chance, and it does hit. Whereas you've got, if we lose today, we only have a 50-50 chance of making it. And it's going to come down to this. We're 0-0 every week. We're trying to be 1-0, like Stefanski has said. We're trying to do that, and we have to just keep going. J-Rod over there on Twitch says, go Browns. Hello, wonderful people. What's going on, J-Rod? Bunch of awesome people here over on the YouTube side as well. So the YouTube people don't typically see the Twitch people. Twitch don't usually see the YouTube people, but I have it in the multi-stream chat right there in the middle. So I believe everybody should be in chat. I'll double check that. next time we get a mention from the Twitch side. So you guys can all kind of meet and have one big Brownie post-game family all there together. Yeah, this is a wild one, guys. I mean, looking at the scenarios, we all know who's out. Wills, Teller, Landry, Higgins, Peoples-Jones, Hodges, Kadero Hodge, not Hodges, Goodson, BJ Goodson, all gone. The good news is Kendall Lamb has gotten all the first team reps at left tackle all week. The other good news is Nick Harris played pretty well. Hambone, how's it going, man? Nick Harris played pretty well last week, all things considered, right? So a lot of good news there. So, and if we are truly the team, if we're a playoff team, we can overcome adversary. I don't know. We can overcome it if we're a good team. And Odin Max says, well, it ain't been easy getting here to this point as an organization, so I'm not surprised it's going to be easy clinching the playoff spot. Let's go Browns. Guts is here. I'm late. Well, I was watching that. It looks like the Twitch chat's not coming through. So Jones says, rocking my vintage Browns jersey today. Lord knows Chubb is going to have to channel him today. Brad says Wills is playing. I don't think he is, dude. All the reports, unless something just came out a second ago that I haven't seen, Wills is out. So Wills is, and it's unrelated illness to COVID. Wills is not playing. If Chris Barker and Arundel say Wills, yeah, you guys, Wills is not playing. They've been saying it all morning that Wills is out with an unrelated illness. So he flew in on a separate plane, but he flew in on a separate plane, and then this morning they're saying he's out. Wills is not playing. Kendall Lamb is playing left tackle, and Nick Harris is playing right guard. So as of 9:27, yeah. So Wills is out. He's been out basically all morning. It sucks, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what it is. We've got Kevin Stefanski. We got a bunch of problem solvers on our coaching staffs. Nothing new. 2020. You got to be ready to go. Also, Kevin, this is something that Ken Carman just retweeted from Jake Trotter. Stefanski confirms Kendall Lamb reps at left tackle all week. Silver lining. Blah blah blah. And then before that, they were saying that they went out to the parking lot and to do walkthroughs in the parking lot early this morning to get the new guys ready, the new wide receivers ready. I mean, last night when all this stuff was going down, I was talking to my dad and I'm like, how is it that like what are they doing? You know, like what are they what are the coaching staff doing at night? They probably stayed up half the damn night, right? They probably stayed up half the night coming up with plays, redoing all of the different stuff. You know, it's just, you know, their whole game plan you got to throw out the window, right? So you can't use the same game plan that you had. It's just wild, guys. It is a wild time. Postpone the game, says Steve Compton. You can't postpone the game in week 16. And we're not the Ravens, so the NFL doesn't bend over backwards for us. Meanwhile, what I want to know, what I'd seriously love to know, and if anybody in chat knows the answer to this, please let me know here. How does BJ Goodson come down with COVID, and because of that, all of our wide receivers are out for the game? Explain that. So or were they all in the same sauna together? Did they all have Christmas dinner together? Like where does BJ Goodson, a linebacker, and all of our starting wide receivers, all four of them, they're gone. And how are they just arbitrarily picking okay, linebackers out for the Browns, wide receivers you can't play. It doesn't make any sense. Now meanwhile, and Ristano pointed this out yesterday. Meanwhile, Dez Bryant tests positive for COVID the morning of a game during warm-ups. They pull him off the field. During warm-ups, he's high-fiving players, hugging players, doing all that stuff. Literally contact like this. And they allow all those players to play who physically had contact with him. Mike, answer this. How does Dez get pulled from the field COVID, but no wide receivers came in close with him? Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Hambone or Mike answer. I want to know the answer too, dude. I want the same answer. It's like the NFL is just picking and choosing how they want to take every scenario with zero consistency. It's ridiculous. Mike, contacts in practice. Okay, so BJ Goodson came in contact. The only players that he came in physical contact with were 4 wide receivers? You telling me that? He didn't have contact with any other players? He didn't come in close contact with the other defensive player? Like, I get it if, like, okay, the linebackers got to all sit. Or linebackers and defensive linemen because they're right there. But for the wide receivers, it just seems like they're arbitrarily picking guys to do it. It's just ridiculous. It almost feels conspiratory that the NFL does not want us to win. It really, really does. Because you see how they bend over backwards for the Steelers and Ravens. They do everything they possibly can for those guys. But the teams like the Browns and the Broncos, we just get boned. And the Broncos were the worst. But from what my dad was telling me yesterday, the Broncos broke protocol. So they had all their quarterbacks in close contact. So there's like, sorry, you can't play that. So there was certain rules about that the Broncos missed. Hey, Dad. All right, so my dad's back. We're gonna be in the same room, close contact. This is Des Bryant rules here at the Killy household for the rest of the pregame show.
Hi, guys.
And so I'm ranting and raving right now about what's been going on the last 15 hours.
Gotcha.
It's been very difficult as a Brown fan to sit here and be happy about this situation. But I will tell you the interesting thing, we got the Steelers playing the Colts today at 1:00. We're playing at 1:00. My dad and I are going to be watching both games. I got 2 screens set up in the media room. Browns will be on the main stage, and then on the side stage, I got the Steelers game, so we'll be able to watch both of them. I'll be tweeting in real time. Although my Twitter app on my phone keeps crashing, so I have to make do with something else. Philip says, morning, Papa Killy. Jerome Smith says, hello. He agrees with Mike Killy. It's going to be an interesting say. Chris Barker says, hi, Dan.
Hi, guys. It's extremely disappointing to learn about all this stuff. And, the hard thing to swallow is the fact that they're not really sick. They've just been exposed. They could be 100% and having to sit on the sidelines. That's the real disappointing part of it. They're ready to go. It's not like when Miles got sick. I mean, he actually got sick, and it took a toll out of him. And maybe was it Harrison who got exposed and who's actually got it and exposing the rest of the guys to it.
Goodson.
Maybe he'll or Goodson. Maybe maybe he will get sick and he'll be out for a while. But let's hope nobody else gets it per se, and that they all test negative during the week. We get past this game. We get some help from other teams along the way today, and we solidify our playoff position. And then we see how healthy we can be for Pittsburgh next week. And hopefully, the Colts do a number on them and give us something to really beat them over the head with next week and take the division away from them, which would be great. That would be a great way to end it. Obviously, if we lose a lot of guys to COVID next week, hopefully we're in the playoffs and we can rest them and don't care about the division per se. And then we get ready for the first playoff game. So that's what we got going today, and it's going to be an interesting day from 1:00 to 4:00 to see how things go.
Yeah, I mean, part of me is honestly, I don't really care how we get into the playoffs as long as we get in. I honestly don't care. If we win, if the If the Steelers win today and beat the Colts and we're in by beating the Jets, fine. If the Colts beat the Steelers today and then we have to play the Steelers at home next week for the final game of the season and we're in if we beat the Steelers and they have a 5-game losing streak to end off the year, fine. So this is as long as we make it, I'll be happy. But it's like, there's teams that have clinched. The Buccaneers clinched a wild card spot yesterday with 10 wins, and it's like, I just want to make the playoffs. I just want to see us in the playoffs again. We fought so hard this year. We've overcome Nick Chubb being injured, OBJ being injured, Denzel Ward being injured, Myles Garrett coming down with COVID, Mac Wilson getting benched, Ronnie Harrison getting injured, Wyatt Teller getting injured, Jedrick, now being out. It's like it's nonstop.
Yeah, we're not the only ones, but you're right. We've endured a lot. Gary Washington wants to know something there, Mike, in your chat. He wants to know who the guy is.
What was the name of the guy's song you're listening to? That's Bear Kincaid. Bear.
Bear.
Bear Kincaid is his name. Check him out on Spotify, Apple Music, all that kind of stuff. Bear Kincaid. Yeah, and follow him on Twitter too. Follow him, tell him Brownie Postgate sent you and you're a big fan. It's awesome. Delpit and Greedy haven't played a snap either. Yeah, I did a tweet this morning. I said if the Browns win the Super Bowl, they're gonna make a movie out of it. I don't know who would play who, but they're making a movie out of the season if the Browns win the Super Bowl. Right. Having no preseason, no OTAs, brand new coaching staff, getting smacked first game. Rattling off a couple wins, everybody questioning Baker in the media. Is he the guy? Is he not the guy? All of our injuries. Then this thing happens with the wide receiver situation.
Well, Brady summed it up pretty well the other day. He said, 7 teams are going to get in from each side, each conference, and only one team out of those 14, 7-7, is going to be happy at the end. The one. Well, we would be ecstatic if we got to the Super Bowl. That'd be one. So we could be happy with that. But if we got to the Super Bowl, we would get greedy and we would want to, not greedy, but Williams, but we would want more. If we get that far, we want the upstate.
Yeah, we want to win.
If we can get past Buffalo and Kansas City in the playoffs and get to the Saints or the Packers, I think we can hold our own with them. I think the offenses of the Bills and the Packers got pretty good offense, and the Saints got pretty good. Yeah, so they would, we would have to play our A game. Baker would have to have his A game. Defense would have to step up.
It would have to be that. We would have to play that Titans first half.
Yeah,
the whole game
and get a big lead and
the whole game.
Try to hang on to it. But that's if our season really at this point hinges on just making the playoffs, then we're happy. We build next year. We've accomplished a lot in 1 year with coaching, players, etc. We know where our weaknesses are. We will be better. We will be going into the draft in April, looking to pick up. We'll be in the mid-20s, looking for a good solid player that can get right into the starting lineup. Preferably on defense, preferably a linebacker, game changer. So we have all that to look forward to. So I'm hoping we do our thing today. I think we have the better team, not only on paper but physically, position by position by position. They don't even with a loss of our wide receivers, that certainly hurts. But if the other guys can just do their job, catch the ball, run their routes, no penalties, know where they're going, and Baker does his thing, and Chubb and Hunt do their thing, and the tight ends do their thing, we should walk away with a victory. I think we're going to win like 33-14, something like that. Defense, I think, is going to step up. I think Darnold is not going to have a good game against us, and the weather's not a factor. It's going to be 35 degrees, no wind, artificial turf. We've been there before last week, so we know.
Same stadium.
Yeah, so, we got a lot of stuff going for us. They had 24 hours to prep these guys who are coming in, who don't have a lot of experience with us. We just have to hope that they understand the plays, they run their routes.
Yep.
Everybody else should know what they're doing. Shouldn't be a problem. We get Wilson back. Maybe he steps it up and has a game, surprises all of us. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be glued to it and glued to the Pittsburgh game too.
Yep. A couple shout outs. Cleveland Cam's here. Cleveland Cam says, I'm just absolutely defeated today when I shouldn't be. Half of our offensive is out. Wish they'd at least push it a couple days, but hope we still get it done. I don't think they can push it out. They don't want to. I don't think the Browns want to do that either. I think we just go in there and play it because it's going to hurt us, with preparation against the Steelers. So that's the more important game, honestly, at this point. Now that with the unknown, Mr. Rollups here, Christian M, Ed Ritter's in the house, talking to Grubbins here, Jay Rodriguez, Elsmo 3 is here. Just want to give some shout outs to everybody. In terms of, it's almost like this perfect storm. Now, obviously, we don't want to have this happen because we're losing guys on defense, we're losing guys on the offensive line, and we're losing our weapons in wide receiver. But I'm really glad that we're not a one-dimensional team, meaning like we're not like one wide receiver, is our whole team. Like OBJ is our one guy. Or, our when Nick Chubb went out, we didn't have Kareem Hunt. It's like we don't have just one guy. We have so much depth. I think today you're going to see a lot of multi-tight end sets. You're going to see Kareem Hunt flanking out. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to be on the field quite a bit. So as two playmakers, we just got to hope that their energy's there. So I think Kareem Hunt's probably going to see a lot of plays. To Ernest Johnson's probably going to be woven into the offense as well. And then guys like Hooper, who we paid a ton of money to.
Step it up.
Hooper's got to step up today big time. I think Derek Willis, out of all the wide receivers we have left, Derek Willis has some experience and made some big catches for us before. So Willis has got to step up and do it. I don't know if he could be a dominant guy, but he's got good hands and he's got decent speed.
Where the Jets stand running wise and defense against the run?
They're one of the worst teams.
Good. So we should be able to run the ball. I think they got a bite on play action to stop our run, which then opens it up a little bit for the tight ends and the wide receivers. Put Chubb and Hunt in the game at the same time. I think we're going to see a lot of that today. Maybe in the backfield, maybe with Hunt split out, so he's in the slot, so he's a wide receiver.
Against a total defense, the Jets are 4th from last.
Okay.
So 29th. Yards per game passing, the Jets are 30th. Yards per game rushing, they're in the middle. Yeah, they're like 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're 14th against the rush. Okay, right, 14th against the rush.
Right where we are.
Points per game, they're 28th points per game. Guys, like, this is one of the worst defenses in the league, hands down.
They lost their defensive coordinator when Williams got sacked.
Yeah.
So
they have the worst offense in the league. They are last in the league total yards.
Right. So we should shut them down.
They are last in the league passing. They are like 21 in the league rushing. So they're not the worst in rushing.
Right.
But
they're not near the top either.
And they're last in the league points per game. I mean, they are so bad on both sides of the ball. Yet, last week they pulled off an upset against, at the time, a 9-4 Los Angeles Rams playoff team in Los Angeles. So
yes, the old given on any given Sunday. And let's hope their given Sunday was last week, and that they returned to their normal poor play against our normal good play. And therefore hopefully come close to that score. I predicted 34, like 14 or something.
We got some guys in the house. Wes Schneider's here. Josh Schneider. So 2 Schneiders, spelling them differently. Dre2K. Max Nikolenko's in the house. Gary Washington says, Mike and Dan, what's Baker's stats today? Man, I think Baker probably throws for 250, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. We keep the ball on the ground and we just hammer it with Chubb and Hunt, and we just win the game that way. The 2 touchdowns are both going to go to tight ends. One's going to go to Hooper. The other one's going to go to Njoku. There you go. That's Baker. 250, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then we just run the ball effectively. And we shut down their defense. Hopefully Myles Garrett's feeling better and can attack the quarterback. Hopefully Olivier Vernon can get to the quarterback as well.
Right.
And then, the good thing is we're losing B.J. Goodson, who's probably been our most consistent linebacker. But Mac Wilson is now coming off of, being benched and not playing, getting his shot to step up. So he's got to step up big time. We still have Taki, who's playing out of his mind. We still have Malcolm Smith, who's playing, doing exceptionally well for his age and what he's doing. We've got a chance, guys. And if it wasn't the Jets, if this was the Steelers week, I'd be losing my damn mind. But it's not the Steelers week. It's the Jets. They are the worst team in the league. I still think they're worse than the Jags, even though the Jags are going to have the tiebreaker pick against them for their first pick. The New York Jets are the worst team in the league, period. So if we can't beat the New York Jets, even with a skeleton crew, I don't know if we deserve to make the playoffs anyway. Right? So that's just where we stand. People are pumped. I'm pumped. We got, it's an hour and a half from game time, less than an hour and a half from game time. And I just want to get this thing started. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it ever since the Dolphins game. And then all the news coming out about COVID, it's just been nonstop. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, and it's just driving me nuts. I want the game to start.
Yeah, I mean, how horrible was that ending of the Dolphins game from the Raiders' perspective, from our perspective? 19 seconds, you get the lead, and you can't hold the lead with 19 seconds. You give up the huge pass play. You give up a face mask penalty on top of it. And of course the guy's going to make the kick. I mean, they should have ran in for the touchdown and force him to go the length of the field with a minute to go. And probably, I don't know, they probably used up their timeout. So if you're sitting there as a Raiders fan, you got to be sitting there thinking, my God, you're paying $10 million to a coach and he can't coach them through 19 seconds. That guy should never have been as wide open on the sidelines, maybe in the middle of the field, but not on the sidelines to stop the clock. The guy reaches out and does a face mask. What a horrible penalty to take. And Fitzpatrick is, and they announced today that Tua is going to start next week. They're not even going to let Fitzgerald start the game next week. He's going to be like Tommy Heinrich of the Boston Celtics. He's going to be the great, man coming off the bench to save him, the sixth man. And that's great to have, when you got a guy like Fitzpatrick. He didn't blow one opportunity. He marched them down the field just about every time. He got points. Right. And the Raiders just couldn't get out of their own way. I mean,
here let's talk about the guys who are playing, because you got this guy Marvin Hall who's playing today. He's played for Detroit and Atlanta in his career. This is his fourth year in the league, started in 2017 and 2018 with the Falcons, then 2019 and 2020 with the Lions. He's caught 17 passes this year for the Lions. In 2020, he caught 17 passes and 2 touchdowns. So he can play in the league. Kyle Duffield, what's going on, man? So we've got Marvin Hall, who's a young wide receiver. Jamarcus. I'm just literally Googling these guys right now. Jamarcus Bradley. He's 24 years old, out of Louisiana Lafayette. Career.
Zero.
Nothing. Saw action in 52 games in college. He hasn't played anything. I don't know anything about him. He played in college. Tay Davis starts for B.J. Goodson. Tay's been on the field this year a little bit. Mac Wilson starting for Jacob Phillips. Okay, I mean, honestly, from a PFF standpoint, it's a bit of a wash. Nick Harris stepping in for Teller. That's technically on paper a pretty massive downgrade, but Nick Harris is performed pretty well last week and got some reps, I'm sure, this week. Kendall Lamb in for Wills. Kendall Lamb caught a touchdown this year, so he's already contributed. And then we got Hall and Bradley starting for Landry and Higgins. Guys, I'm talking myself more and more into this to not be that worried, because I trust Kevin Stefanski. He's a smart guy. He makes good decisions. His offense has been built around the tight ends. There's a reason why we carried 4 tight ends. There's a reason. And now we get to actually use them. It's going to really be, it's almost like he might have just been sitting there like, hey, now we have to use them. So we have all this talent. Let's go out and see what these guys can do.
Right.
And Njoku wants to have good numbers because he's gonna probably be on the market, right? So he wants to come out and play.
It's going to come down to coaching. I don't know how much you can coach up in 24 hours with these guys, but if they were on the practice field and they did their job, meaning did their homework, understand the plays, maybe not 100% of them, but the 50% that maybe that they're going to try to adopt, and obviously Baker knows them. The shorter, the quicker. Get the guys in the game, get them some confidence, let them catch a couple of balls. These guys can catch. They wouldn't be pro wide receivers, regardless of what college they came from or whatever, if these guys cannot catch the ball. Now, maybe they'll be nervous. Hopefully they won't drop any that are, right in their hands or because they're nervous. But the quicker they get them in the game with a catch, the more confidence, and you build off of that. And you just keep going. And obviously that'll build Baker's confidence to throw the ball to him, as opposed to, worrying about, well, if I throw it to him, I'm not sure what route he's going to run. I'm not sure he's going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So not exactly, being the quarterback that he is to have to deal with that. But, Baker deals with adversity. I mean, he is shown to be a winner. And I think we will hopefully ride him and Chubb and Hunt this afternoon, and the tight ends.
Yep, absolutely. It's Nick Chubb's birthday today.
Hey,
so maybe he'll go nuts for his birthday. Baker's out there warming up. Chubb's out there warming up. I'm checking the Browns' Twitter right now. Looks like they're throwing some stuff out there. Hey, you, that guy. I mean, it's like, go out there, run some routes, catch the ball. And I mean, these guys, Jamarcus Bradley and Marvin, this is your shot, guys. This is your moment. Go out there and do it. Kadero Hodge had a moment last year that pushed him in, and he's gotten some opportunities this year. He's made some big plays. So these are the type of moments that don't happen in life all that often, where you're not supposed to do anything, but you have an opportunity to go out there and make it happen and prove to the Browns that you should be on the team, and then other teams in the league as well that you can play, that they can pick you up. And now's as good a time as any, because it's playing against the worst team in the league, and we need it real bad. So everything is on the line here. Go out there and play well. These guys, Jamarcus and Marvin and these guys who are the unknown players right now, you want to make a name for yourself, you got an opportunity to do so. So we shall see, guys. It's like, nothing's easy for us as Browns fans. Nobody ever said it would be easy for us as Browns fans. We fought through worse. We fought through quarterbacks and coaches and teams moving, and Josh Gordon can't pass a drug test, and Johnny Manziel, and all the things that we've gone through. We can go through missing a couple wide receivers against the worst team in the league and go out there and still smack them in the face and still go, you know what? We're here to play. It doesn't matter if you take away all of our wide receivers, we're still going to beat you in your home in New York 2 weeks in a row, and we're going to make the playoffs. And that's what's going to happen today. Our guys, I think, are going to bond together, hopefully not too close together, but they're going to bond, and they're going to come together as a unit and execute.
Yeah. Let's see what chat has to say. What are your predictions out there, chat? What do you think score is going to be. We still haven't given that jersey away for the picking the exact score, so we have one more opportunity to get that done. So let's see. As I said, I'm thinking 34-14 is my number. Obviously, it's got to be a Browns win to win the jersey.
Yeah, guys, put your scores in now. Put your scores in now, and I'm going to record them. If you nail the score, you win a jersey.
All right.
I'm creating my little document now so I can capture all the scores. So get them in, guys.
70-0 Schlegel. Wow.
7.
What are you drinking, John?
70-0 would be amazing.
Yeah, we don't want to, spend all the good news this week. We want to save some of it for our friends in Pittsburgh that are coming to Cleveland next week, and it'll be interesting to see what COVID does to us this week, and see if anybody actually gets sick. Just one guy.
Well, they're saying that it's crazy. Like, Wills is now sick, unrelated, not having COVID. He's tested negative for COVID, but he's sick.
Yeah, maybe he's got the flu. I mean, this is flu season.
Guys, it's insanity what's going on right now. It really is. It's just Alex Massimiani's here. What's going on, Alex?
Got
Rick
a ton
Atkins
of people in chat. We got 180 plus people in chat. So get your scores in. Somebody's got to hit it. Somebody's got to win that jersey.
Lace Nix is in the house. What's going on, Lace? Nick Casaro, very close to Nick Casario. James F is in the house. Accent Eagle. C. Jones, what's going on, C. Jones? Greg Last. Let's make it happen, guys. I am capturing all of your scores as you're putting them in.
Again, one score, guys. If you put 2 scores in, you are disqualified. So you only get
one score,
one chance at it. It's like the lottery. Pick the right number, and you get the jersey.
That's correct, guys. And it's a funny thing. Santino Torres, who won one of the Victory Monday mugs, still hasn't received his Victory Monday mug. It's like lost in the mail. So I ordered it. I'm going back to Cleveland Clothing Co. and they're like, hey, well, we shipped it. There's mailing issues. Now, I've sent other people Victory Monday mugs, and they've already received theirs before Santino got his. So, at some point, I'm going to be like, hey, look, I'm sorry. You're going to have to cancel this order because, it's not fair that we paid for it and my guy isn't getting it. And it's been literally weeks. They might have to take it on the chin for that one. Or I'm going to stop talking about the Victory Monday mug because it's not fair that we're buying them and not getting to people. A lot of people are picking the Browns, so that's good. So, I think everybody should pick the Browns, even with this. And I think that's a testament to really what Kevin Stefanski's been able to do with the team this year. To be able to sit there and have people being like, well, we're still going to win. It's just like it might be a little bit closer. It might be like a 27-17 or something, but we should still win. They still are the worst defense in the league. They still are one of the worst offenses in the league. And we're not. We can score points. We can score lots and lots of points when we have to. So
yeah, just hope our kicking game, special teams show up.
Yep, execution.
The special teams hurt them last night in the game, kicking the Raiders. It's amazing how these extra points are not automatic anymore.
Yeah,
guys are missing them left and right.
I don't know if I like it. I don't like it. I like when you score a touchdown, you get 7 points. That's what I like about football. I don't like holding my breath for extra point misses. I don't like it.
Or 41-yard field goals they missed last night too. It's really a strange year because the weather was not a factor, and he missed them. Both, and he did get the go-ahead one for the Raiders, so they would have run him out of town if he had missed that one. But a lot of good it did him. 19 seconds, you lose a game. Let's hope it doesn't come down to that for us.
No, yeah, I don't think it will. All right, I got pretty much everybody's numbers in here for the scores. I'm keeping watching. If the scores keep coming in, I'm going to keep calculating them. So don't worry, guys. Just keep getting them in. I'd love to give out that jersey. Just a quick shout out to some of our sponsors and people who support the channel. Schlegel Law Firm in Columbus for any of your legal needs, wills and trusts, evictions, anything that you need from a legal standpoint. John Schlegel is an attorney in Columbus. Personal friend of mine, big supporter of the show, business tier on Patreon. So if you need any legal services in the greater Columbus area, he's Ohio bar, so really anywhere in Ohio where you might need a legal services, give John Schlegel a call at Schlegel Law. Also, William Ali, if you're buying or selling a home in Northeast Ohio, William Ali, his phone number will come up every once in a while over there. Give William Ali a call, let him know that Brownie Post Game, Mike and Dan sent you, and work with William if you need if you need a real estate agent in the Northeast Ohio area. Also, Sabo Apparel gives us stuff to give away. Homage gives us stuff to give away, which is awesome. And then also St. Jude. We're doing a lot raising money for St. Jude this year, so I'm leaving that up there as well for those guys.
Card giveaway?
Yeah, we got some football cards to give away as well, guys. So I'm gonna call it on that. So the last number I've got in there is Sean Hull, getting in his score. So I'm gonna copy that down. We're gonna do a giveaway for football cards. So give me a 1 to 100 now for football cards. Go. My number I have in chat is in. I have my hands off the keyboard, so go ahead and put your numbers in, and we will be good on that. My dad will mail them out to you guys. Oh, let's go. Silver Jetto, hey brother, are you streaming the Browns game? No, you can't. I can't stream the Browns game. This is just a pregame show. You have to find the stream on your own.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so cards. We've got Odell Beckham card, silvery. It's not going to show up very well because I've got a filter on there. But Odell Beckham card. We've got a foil backed Baker Mayfield card.
Pull it back, maybe.
No, it's because I've got a filter on there.
Okay.
I'll just tell it. Austin Hooper as well. We got Austin Hooper on here. And finally, Jarvis in foil as well. Some pretty nice cards. I mean, I haven't collected football cards in a long time, but I mean, what they've done with the technology and how nice these are. These are Panini cards, so Panini Prism, I guess. I don't know what these are, but
let me see if I can come up with
they're very nice.
Let me see if I can come up with
No, already we're doing the numbers. We're doing numbers. Yeah,
right,
numbers are in chat. Let's see if anybody hit the number. Nobody's hit the number yet, but Joe, all right, I'm calling it right now. Boom, that's the number. It was 63, and I think Joe, I want to make sure I have it in there. Joe D had a 62. And I think Joe D is the closest because nobody had 63 and nobody had 64. And I was going to run out. I was going to run out of room. So Joe D. All right.
Send us.
Joe D, send me an email with your address to browniepostgame@gmail. Send me your address, Joe D. We'll send out these cards to you. Congratulations on the victory. There's always people like, oh, I was 63. That's what I wanted, my number. Of course. Yeah, guys. So, all right. We're going to come back in the post-game show. We'll give away Homage and Sabo apparel in the post-game. So, we'll have 2 chances to win giveaways in the post-game show. So, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, it's a good time to hit the subscribe button. We're going to be live again at 4:05, 4:10-ish whenever the game is over. We're going to come right back live. My dad will join me for a little bit. Then he's got to get out of here. But we'll do the Homage and Sabo apparel t-shirts in the post-game show. Subscribe to the channel. Everybody, if you can, if you're in YouTube, hit like. If you're on the Twitch side, hit follow. Let's get this thing going. And we will see you guys in a couple hours.
All right, go Brownies.
Go Browns.
Okay.
Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go. Come on, Cleveland, let's meet down by the lake. Dog pound rocking and the Brownies gonna bring the pain. We're gonna throw it deep, we'll run it down their throats. And you know we're singing, here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go. East side, west side, worldwide, it's game day. Gonna win real big or make a cardiac comeback late. And our defense gonna shake them to their bones. And you know we're singing, here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go. Holding on to my title dreams. Win or lose, I love my team. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, up before the dawn, ready for Judgment Day. A lethal underdog, walking on to make 'em pay. Woke up feeling dangerous. That stuff so contagious. We got 10 toes down, so let the haters say what they say.
If you ain't Argent Brown,
no cookie cutter fool.